and welcome to today's video. And today we have a new side pull that we're going to try out. Now it's an all leather side pull as opposed to having like a rope band, so it's really pretty light. It's also got an interesting little strap on the underneath side right here, which I find pretty cool. So you have both a throat latch, and then you have like a chin strap, and then you have an additional strap, so that's not going to get along. So we're going to be testing this style of side pull today. First thing I do whenever I'm testing out a bridle of any sort is I make sure that the horse has plenty of flex. So you always want to stand back in your pocket area. Let me walk back over here a little bit better. Ooh. So you want to stand right back up here. If you've got a saddle with a saddle horn, you can put your hand on the saddle horn, and you can keep your reins up here between your thumb and your forefinger. Grab your forefinger and just halfway up the rein and ask the horse to flex. If you get a nice flex like that, you know that you're doing really good. Remember, what you do on one side, you definitely have to do on the other. Come on. So over here, same thing. Stand back into the horse's pocket, ask for the flex. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so that was a really important thing. If your horse does continue to walk around when you ask them to flex, you have to hold on. If you're in the pocket and you have your hand up here and on the saddle horn, your feet are where their feet are not. And so if they do start to walk around on you, then you can totally just follow along, but don't give up until that horse actually stops. You want to say, whoa. If you're testing any kind of a bridle, you want to make sure you have brakes first. So anything you want to have brakes. Now the next thing I want to know is if I've got a good backup. So I'm going to get my hands up here on either side of the horse. I can actually be in the pocket. I can put my hand up here so I can even out just like I would in the saddle, and I can just pull and back and release, back and release, back and release. So I've got a good lateral movement, and I've also got a good backup. So that's what you need as far as groundwork. The next will be in the saddle. Okay, remember to subscribe for new weekly downloads. Okay, so we're going to be testing a leather side pull on the in the saddle. So the first thing that I'm going to do, of course, is ask for lateral flexation. Make sure that the horse gives laterally. Reach down, Y, okay, about midway. Ask the horse to give. What you do on one side, you do on the other. Try to keep your hand down. Again, reach down, come back to where it is. And if you've got good flex, then usually you're doing pretty good. Next test is the backup test. I want to make sure that I've got good back, that the horse will back up off of the side pull. All right, so I'm going to start with my fingers, and I'm just going to give a little sponge action, sponge action, sponge action. And then I'm going to add my seat. I'm going to squeeze and release my glutes, and I eventually want him to bring it. The next thing I want to make sure that the horse can do is flex down to a one-rein stop. Remember, this is how I'm going to make sure that he knows to follow his nose. So I'm going to ask him to flex down and pull and release, and whoa, and he stopped. So flex, we're going to flex on down, flex on down, flex on down, and whoa, good. Didn't have to use hardly any pressure. That means that the horse is listening very, very well on this side pull. You may not have as much motion. I feel like I have to pull a little bit harder to get that head over. A little bit harder. There we go. So now that he's got the idea, he's like, oh yeah, all right, you want me to do a one-rein stop. So that's good. So he's kind of getting that. So the next thing I want to make sure, I think this horse is responding really, really well to this type of side pull. Like I said, it just proves that you really don't have to have a harsh nose piece in order to get good control of your horse. Now, the difference between this one and, say, a shank tacklemore is basically the amount of pressure. So Really, I like this design. It's pretty good. It's not for every horse, it's not for every rider, but you know what? If you want something nice and easy, plus it looks pretty, I think this type of hackamore would be probably a pretty good decision. So thank you so much for joining us in today's lesson. And if you enjoyed the lesson, give us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And remember, if you want to see more videos, please check out our playlist.